Hi, Alan. How are you? How's it going today?
How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, especially after watching the few episodes that I was given of this. I want more, so that's all I have to say. But it's nice to see that you've returned to a life of TV crime. And I want to know what it is about this genre that you love to play in so much.
First of all, thanks for watching. What did you watch? One and two?
Yes, sir. Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're super proud of it. So thank you. That means a lot. Thank you for taking the time. There's a
Oh,
lot of
my
shit on the go
pleasure.
right now that you could be
My
watching.
pleasure.
So thank you. We, well, I don't know. I think there's a familiarity for me from a creative perspective as a writer. I tried after Republic of Doyle ended to kind of banish myself from the procedural world because 6 seasons of that show, that's, 78 crime plots.
Yeah,
It can be challenging, right, to find freshness in it. Particularly, that was my first run at doing that kind of thing.
sure.
And I, dabbled in other stuff and created other stuff, produced other stuff, wrote other stuff that I was expanding myself as a writer. But then you keep coming back to Mother, right? Your
Yeah,
my mind just goes there. It's what I've always been passionate about as a viewer, as a kid. The same things apply. Like I always was interested in those shows. I can't stop watching them. Um, I understand them intrinsically. It's part of my 10,000 hours. It's a structure of those shows, the structure of what a crime show needs and what a procedural is and how it's supposed to work and what the beats need to be. And there's a real comfort in that structure because you
right.
can do build a lot of things around it in terms of character, in terms of conflict, in terms of
For sure.
personal
Yeah.
arcs can live within that structure when you have that framework. Particularly when you're in an ongoing series, it's there's something to that you know what the show is, you know what you're writing, you know what you're building.
Yeah.
Um, there's a design to it. I mean, there is not a design for one fits all. Every creator, I think, has a different approach to that. But
Oh, of course. Yeah.
yeah, for me, it's in my
Yeah.
heart.
Well, okay. So now you take us to this slice of heaven in Canada, which, by the way, I didn't even know existed, to be honest. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out here that don't. But tell me a little bit about how you discovered St. Pierre and then why you decided to set the series there. Because I got to say, no offense to you, it's a scene stealer, that location.
Thank you. Well, no, I take it as a compliment. Our our DP and our directors, like that's the show's the central character. The location is the central
Yeah.
character to the show. It's named Saint Pierre for that reason. The first time I really spent any time there, 22 years ago, one of my first leads in a film was directed by John Batcher, who's he directed 102, 103, 109, 110. He's a producer on the show. He worked with me on Doyle. We've been working together for 20 years. That was set there. It's called Make Love in
Mm,
St. Pierre. Um, but then it went away in my mind as a place. It's present in a lot of Newfoundlanders' minds because we've had this connection to the place for years,
right.
for centuries. But you forget about it because it's like anything that's in your living room. After a while, you stop looking at it, you stop recognizing, you stop noticing it. And
Like your
we went
kids.
over. I'm childless myself, but
Okay, I'm speaking for me.
but we went over on a scout for Son of a Critch, which we also
Yes.
produce.
Yes.
And I was just sitting there after one of the days of the scout. We were sitting outside having a beer on the deck of the one of the bars over there, and I was like,
Yeah.
boom, it hit me, and I got the tingles. The concept of the show, the idea, the seed of what it was going to be it was screaming at me. And I later connected with Robina and then Robina Lord Stafford, who's my co-showrunner, and we just dove into it together, and it became this thing. It became this thing that felt real and felt right. And in a very short while, we were making it. It was just a lightning in a bottle moment, which I'm super grateful for.
Yeah, but it's part of Canada, but yet it's in France. Can you explain how that works, please?
Yeah,
And
sure.
also financially too, for a Canadian, like to shoot there. Like, does that make a difference because it's not really Canada? Like, just explain that to me. I don't know. I'm sorry, being dumb here, but
Well, no, it's fine. It's complicated. It's certainly not simple. Our crew is all Canadian, or
yeah,
the majority of our cast are all Canadian. The story is essentially around a Canadian character in a place that geographically is in Canada,
right.
but it's an actual territory of France. It's totally weird. It's very
Mhm.
unique.
Very.
It's an outlier from what's expected. But it is. One could argue it. It still is part of Canada. It's just not. So it's in that nebulous world.
Right.
They're, as far as they're concerned, they're France. Their territory, France. Their electricity is the same as they have is 220. Their money is the euro. The language is French for the most part.
Wow.
It's wild. It's a really wild and interesting original place.
Yeah, yeah, it looks amazing. Like I said, I think there's going to be a big rise in tourism there, by the way, too, after people start watching your show. Okay, so you're playing this inspector. If you can set it up, just the premise for us, for the viewers, because here he is, this guy. He comes to Saint-Pierre to join the force there, hooks up with a partner, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. And it's interesting how he gets there. So set it up, please.
So Donnie Fitzpatrick is my character, Inspector Fitz, um, with the Royal Newfoundland Constabulary in Newfoundland. He gets in some hot water in Newfoundland because Donnie was undercover for a long period of time. Things got tricky for him, which gets parsed out throughout the series. He lost, his family
Hmm.
through divorce and separation, and he's trying to question the premier of Newfoundland to a case that he's working that he thinks the premier somehow linked to, and just trying to question him. But these two guys have a serious uh, ego bash between each other because the premier's actually living with Fitz's family, and he's in a
Right.
relationship with his ex.
Yeah.
Things go sideways. Fitz arrests him. Every parent he arrests him at his kid's school because he
Yeah.
knows he was there to pick up his kids that day. Every parent is filming it. It goes viral. Fitz
Yeah.
gets in serious hot water, and the Royal Newfoundland Constabulary and the local police force, which is fictional, by the way, the police force in St. Pierre is the gendarme. But
Uh-huh.
there's a number of reasons why we created a fictional police force there. Most notably, locals don't work for the gendarme. They're all from the federal France, and they're brought in for 3-year terms. But we wanted to build a world where there was
Yeah.
also a local police force too, where locals could work and be a part of law enforcement. Anyways, the Newfoundland government and the French government were doing this liaison, cross cultural collaboration, and it was supposed to be a cadet who was going to go over and work with them, and they were going to send a cadet over. But Fitz's boss is like, I got to get you out of Dodge till this blows over, or you're going to lose your job. So she
Right.
sends him to liaise with the local police force there. That's when he meets Arch, and that's when he's introduced to this world. And our version of Saint Pierre too, like the same similar thing for anyone who is familiar with Republic of Doyle. It's a fictionalized version of our Saint Pierre. The police force
Of
is
course.
fictionalized.
Yeah.
There's a murder. It's like Shetland. No one's murdering anybody in Shetland. But every episode there's a different dead person. It's a
Okay,
similar
you
thing.
gotta have that.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
procedural cop show.
Yes,
But
exactly.
once so it's our version. It's in our version. The place is bigger. But I will say this about the place: it's extremely multicultural. There's a number of Europeans living there. There's a real Cosmo quality to their tiny town that really feels like a giant city. Is truly is original. There's nothing like that in rural Newfoundland. I've never
Yeah.
seen that in a rural community in this country the way that it is there. Like the restaurants are top notch. They're a metropolis of 6,000 people. It's really bizarre.
Yeah.
It's
It's
really quite
heaven.
interesting.
It actually does sound like heaven, to be honest with you. Like that small of a community, and everybody must, not everybody, but very
Oh yeah,
close knit, know each other. And yeah, no, it's wonderful. And then, of course, your character hooks up. with this new partner and played by Josephine. And I wanted, she's also amazing in this. Was it instant chemistry between the two of you? Because you well know you can get on set with somebody and go, oh, God, please, I can't wait for the day to be over. Doesn't seem like that when I watch you two together.
I miss her already. Um, Working with her every second of every day has been an absolute dream. She is, and everyone on our crew feels that way. Josephine is an insanely talented actor, but she's also one of the most generous people. She has no ego, no FOMO. She is not interested in it. She doesn't put her energy in it. She puts her energy in the work and her connections with the people that she cares about. And she cares about every one of these crew. She was, what a unicorn. She was a real dream, a pure dream
Yeah.
to
Did
work
you
with.
have any, I was just curious as to what the biggest challenges were, perhaps making this as opposed to something like Republic of Doyle? Or was it just because you're just so used to being in the skin of, I look, you've been doing this forever, like acting and everything, you know what you're doing, but there's always complications, especially fact that you're producer. I mean, you've got a lot of responsibility here, wearing a lot of hats.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the first time I did this, I hadn't done it before. I hadn't even been the lead of a series before.
Yeah.
So you learn a lot in once a production train starts moving, there's no stopping it, and it's can be very stressful. And so I had years of apprenticeship in my first hit time out, right? And then
Yeah.
you start to collect people, you start to discard things that are not necessary, you start to collect the people in your life that you come across on other sets and other shows, or the crew. You build your team, you start to sort
Hmm.
of focus on what's important, stay away from the things that aren't important. We're also producing Son of a Critch at the same time as we're doing Saint-Pierre.
Yeah.
It truly is a golden age for what we're able to sort of accomplish right now. And I've learned so much about what not to worry about. Like
I'm sure.
you,
Yeah.
the fire that I saw coming, that was upon me 12 years ago, I see coming a million miles away. I mean, there's always stuff, but to be honest with you, not
Yeah.
really. And
Yeah.
the people that I work with, um, the team that I'm surrounded by, and my creative partner with Robina, and this cast, and you know, I it's a lot of work, but I really thrive in that arena of having a lot of
Yeah.
hats, and
Well-oiled
I feel
machine.
yeah, I feel like it's super special, and it's super well-oiled machine. Like we are a
Yeah.
team of um, super pros, and also like it's a community where a lot of these people I've been working with since my first movie, in
Right.
this crew, and
Family. Yeah.
yeah, like actual friends, right? Like people that
Yeah.
you're actually connected to, and people that you want to spend that much time with, and you feel grateful for the chance to be able to do that. And then at the same time, we're trying to make something from a creative perspective. That learning curve is also there. So what we were learning as we were going when we were doing Doyle is now I'm like, okay, I think I know what I need to avoid. I know what needs to work. Uh, Robina brings in her own level of experience to it. The rest of our writers, our directors, knowing when to let people do their jobs, knowing how to sort of stay on the sidelines, knowing when to intervene when you have to. And as an actor,
Mm.
I'm in the prime of my life in terms of like me having figured some stuff out about what I think is important in that field.
Right.
And the one thing I figured out around the age of 40 or 38 or something is like, oh shit, there is no stopping. There's no learning. There's no ending to the learning.
Yeah.
You can't ever arrive. The minute you think you've arrived, you're out. You're dead.
I agree.
You're
Yeah.
irrelevant, and it's probably true in life. But in all those jobs for me, that's like, we've got younger cast, and I'm like, I need to learn as much from them as I'm going to learn from the Chris Plumbers when I worked with him, or it's like it's an always ever evolving medium, and
Yeah.
you can never ever stop getting better. So that's the gratefulness I feel to be in this position, is like to be able to go to work every day and try to accomplish that. That's
Yeah.
the only thing that's important. It's like
Yeah, amazing. Okay, so just to wrap it up, I do want to talk about Son of a Critch because it's truly one of my favorite shows. I really love it so so much. The bond between that cast, and you talk about veterans. I mean, Malcolm McDowell, to have him, hello, you know what I mean? Really, and how much he loves it. I follow him on Instagram, and he's constantly posting about the show. He just, you know, he truly loves being there. It's not just a job. Did you ever expect? Now it's in the States, it's really blown up. It's just so heartwarming, and to see how Benjamin has grown into this role, the kids especially, how they're getting older and how they're just getting better and better. I mean, I seriously love it, and I've told Mark this a million times. Did you ever think when you guys started this that it would be such a hit and really touch people's hearts?
Mark texted me the other night, the day we wrapped, some photo of me when I was 20. Wish I could find it. And he was like, "Did this, something?" I can't find it right now, but it was like
That's okay,
something
that's
like
okay.
it was like a photo of me when I was 20, because we've known each other basically our whole lives.
Yes.
And he was like, "Did this young fella ever think that he'd be wrapping the first season of his third show?" You know, and it's like this crazy. And Malcolm, so we co-produce. Hawco Productions co-produces that with Project 10. So
Right, yeah.
Project 10 and Mark developed the show. They came to us. Of course, Mark was going to come to me to produce the show here. Like, that partnership is incredible.
Mm.
We work hand in glove. I don't deal like, I just don't deal in drama, man. It's like it's a waste of time. So it's a fully cohesive team that way. Like, Mark and Tim, Mark, this is Mark's life, like, for real, and stories I
Exactly.
never believed him when he told me these stories for years and years and years. And you get confirmation on these stories. Oh my God, you truly. But Malcolm said the best thing about it. Malcolm was like, everybody has these stories.
Yeah,
Everybody does. It's
that's
about
true.
how you tell it.
Yeah.
And why Malcolm loves it so much is because he loves Mark so much, and he loves the creativity and Mark's genius, and like, to create something from your own life like that could be pretty weird. He plays his own father. It's pretty
Yes,
strange.
I know, right? I know. Yeah, yeah. It's
It's so
great.
funny at the beginning. We were like, who's going to play your father? And Mark was like, I just don't know. And I was like, dude,
Hello. Yeah.
it's obviously you. Like, what am I going to do it? Like, anyway, that's a
No,
very
it
special show
works
too.
so well. Yeah, that show is just continued success with that. Well, listen, hopefully this is going, St. Pierre, I think, is going to be a huge hit. I mean, people love you, Alan, and this is a really, it's just a great transition from Doyle, I think. And it's just wonderful. I love it. And your next junket that you have out there, just keep me in mind because I seriously want to come out there. So
Anytime, absolutely. We'd love to have you
I
out here.
I would love to come and visit. So listen, thank you so much for your time today. Best of luck with the series. Happy holidays and Happy New Year, everything to you, my friend. And we'll speak to you again soon someday. Thank you so much.
Back at you. Thank you.
Okay,
Thanks, buddy.
take care.
Cheers.
Bye-bye. Okay,
Bye.
bye.